Verujem da će se većina vas složiti kada kažem da neke stvari ispadnu najbolje ako se desi spontano. Evo recimo u subotu smo radili jednu reportažu u Ruskom Krsturu o Rotary klub Kula i među tim ljudima tamo se našao jedan stranac, ono čovjek govori engleski pa smo shvatili i sad da ne bismo mi ispali drva, a da se on osjeća prijatnije, razmenili smo nekoliko reči. Bukvalno posle par minuta našeg razgovora upitali smo ga da li je zainteresovan da napravimo intervju sa njim, što je on rado prihvatio. Nils Harmsen, ili ti Joši Livo, kako nam se predstavio, dolazi iz Holandije, ima 31 godinu i mogu slobodno da kažem da je iza njega jedan buran život. Između ostalog, pokušao je da osnuje svoju državu između Holandije i Nemačke, pokušao je da živi bez novca i bez računa u banci, obogatio se uz pomoć bitcoina i čak je nekoliko dana proveo u pritvoru u Hrvatskoj. Međutim, još je ova priča zanimljiva iz jednog drugog razloga, a to je njegov diplomatski pasoš i država koja se graniči sa Srbijom, ali koja nije priznata u svetu. Ako ste pomislili na Kosovo, pogrešili ste. Država u kojoj pričam se zove Slobodna Republika Liberland, koju je pre 3 godine osnovao Vit Jetlička na zapadnoj obali Dunava na granici između Srbije i Hrvatske. Nalazi se to ostrvo od 7 kvadratnih kilometara, nalazi se tačno preko puta Bačkog Monoštora i za tu teritoriju njen osnivač tvrdi da je ničija zemlja nastala iz graničnog spora između Srbije i Hrvatske. Još je u priču o njegovom životu, ulozi u Liberlandu i samom Liberlandu, bilo bi najbolje da čujete od njega. Napominjem samo da je intervju rađen na engleskom, nismo uspeli da ga prevedemo zato što je to ogroman posao i nemamo toliko vremena, tako da taman da vežbate malo strane jezike.
My name is Joši Livo. I'm 31 years old and I'm Liberlandian. Well, my story is, it started about 8 years back. I used to be an auditor in the Netherlands. I make financial statements for companies like McDonald's. I help them to pay as few taxes as possible. And at some point I automated their process in a way that my own job got expelled. So I didn't have a job anymore. And at that point I wanted to figure out how money works. And I started to investigate on the internet. And when I found out that all money is a debt, I became very angry with the current system. And I wanted to find a way how it can be done better. So I started to investigate gold and silver, and through that world I came in contact with Bitcoin in a quite early stage. And I've been in many protests, and at some point I got to hear about Liberland. And 3 years ago, in 2015, I traveled to Liberland, or I tried to travel to Liberland, and got arrested for being on the soil of Liberland. Spent 10 days in Osijek prison, and when I found out that Liberland wasn't accessible to me, I went back to the Netherlands. I started my own initiative called Wonderland between the Netherlands and Germany, but this didn't really work out in the way that I hoped that it would. And when Bitcoin in 2017 spiked to almost $20,000 per Bitcoin, I made contact with Vit Jetlička, president of Liberland, and I apologized for my radical behavior in the past and that I've become more moderate. And Vit then rewarded me with Liberland citizenship. So since last year I'm Liberland citizen, and I'm gonna use the profit that I made with Bitcoin to build a stronger Liberland. Liberland is the third smallest country in the world, just after Monaco and the Vatican. It's found in 2015, 13th of April 2015, on the land that we call Liberland, but Croatians refer to it as Siga. So Liberland aims to be the freest country in the world with the most few regulations on the planet. We don't have taxation. We do voluntary taxation. So we believe that people will voluntarily tax themselves in favor of their country because they feel that in a community effort we can achieve more than by ourselves. But we don't want to have all kind of rules that limit the freedom of the people. And that really appealed to me in a way that I believe that there is way too many restrictions for the average person to have a comfortable life with. I believe that taxation is a form of theft, and that it used to be like hundreds of years ago the royals taxed people for their own benefit. In the last 100 years we got some presents back for the taxes that we paid, and this allows the authorities to say now that we need taxation for a comfortable life. But I think we can manage on our own, and we don't need a large government because it will cost us a lot of money, and this money we can spend in a better way.
How many people have citizenship of Liberland?
There are 500,000 registered accounts on the webpage of liberland.org. Out of these 500,000 accounts, 150,000 are eligible for citizenship. Out of these 150,000 eligible people, there are now 500 people who have citizenship. And out of these 500 people, there are 100 people with a passport. Getting citizenship of Liberland is actually very simple. You need to have three things. You cannot have radical political ideas in terms of Nazism or communism. You cannot have radical ideas about religion, and you cannot have a criminal record. If you don't have one of these three, if you basically can accept that other people will have different ideas than yours, then all you need after that is 5,000 Liberland merits. And these merits you can earn. For example, I earned my citizenship without paying money. But if you want to, if you have the money, then you can buy 5,000 merits for the sum of $5,000, and at that point you will be Liberland citizen.
Priča o ekonomiji, porezima i trenutnom sistemu u svetu je posebno interesantna kada o tome pričate sa čovekom koji je radio kao revizor i poreski savjetnik, pa smo tom prilikom još je upitali možemo li da živimo bez poreza, da li je moguće razbiti trenutni bankarski sistem, ali takođe smo ga upitali kako to Bitcoin i blockchain tehnologije utiču na sadašnju ekonomiju u svetu.
I think if you organize yourself in such a way that people who make a donation to the community will have some status out of it or whatever, that there will be people that are gonna do it, and that will still be a form of taxation but voluntary. And for example, when Bitcoin hit 20,000 and I have a lot of it, a lot of money, then I'm more than willing to help others in achieving their goals with a little bit of money. If I don't have any money, then I think it's more than fair to say that I shouldn't have to pay for it, you know. And I think that regulating it and making it mandatory and threatening people by locking them up for if they don't pay is a way of the Middle Ages, of the Dark Ages, and we are progressing to a new kind of system which allows us to live in a much more free way. I have tried to live without money, and it's very difficult. I live without a bank account for a couple of years, and basically in the Netherlands you cannot live without a bank account. But if people gather, then everything can be achieved, and that's actually one of the things that I want to prove, that everything that we want to achieve can be achieved if we want it, and if we go for it. So by ourselves I don't think we can break it, but if we gather enough people, then in the end we create this system, so we can also create something different. And I believe it's possible. The internet is about 20 years old. 30 years old, sorry. The Bitcoin protocol is now 9 years old, and both of these innovations are going to change the way how we live with each other. You can already see it today. Everybody is looking at their mobile phone, and 10 years ago you couldn't think that that was going to become a reality. So there are major changes in the world happening right at this moment, and this is going to change the way how we are living together. It's just a way of and people need to be educated on it, I believe, because a lot of people don't know that Bitcoin is out there, for example, although it's now 9 years old. So the system is already changing. It's not me who is changing it. I just want to tell people about it because I feel that I've been privileged with a good set of brains, and I want to share my knowledge with others for free because that's just the way how I prefer to be living. And fortunately for me, I was early enough in Bitcoin to be able to do this now and have the financial freedom to, at least for a couple of years, try to make it work. I believe that with the innovation of Bitcoin, which is basically giving us the opportunity to transfer value from one part of the globe to another for within a couple of seconds for very low cost. There is need for this innovation because money moves every day, and for example, today is Saturday. If I would send you money today, you will not receive it before Monday because your bank is closed. So that's ridiculous because we live in an age where we can chat with each other, but we cannot send each other money without this new innovation of blockchain. So I definitely think that the blockchain technology will live on, and the thing is, Bitcoin by itself will not have the capacity to provide the entire world with their financial needs because the world is too big and too complicated for one protocol. So what I see as the future is that there will be many local currencies. For example, Liberland is going to launch its own token. I am connected with a crypto coin called EFL, which specifically aims for the Netherlands. And I believe that there will be a lot of local economies evolving with Bitcoin, blockchain related technology. And this new technology gives you some freedom. And the downside of that freedom is that it also gives you responsibility. So I can lose my bank pass, my card, my debit card from my bank, and then call my bank and they will give me a new one. If I lose my bitcoins, nobody is going to reimburse my bitcoins because there is no central party who is regulating it or where you can go to. So there are benefits and there are downsides of it, and we need to be aware of both of them. But I definitely think that the technology of blockchain is going to last like internet, like email, and that it will change the way how we live our lives.
U razgovoru sa Jošijem smo dobili jednu svežu informaciju, a reč je o novosadskom brodu Cepelin koji je Liberland kupio za svoje potrebe i koji će biti trajno usidren u Apatinu.
In Apatin we now have a boat called Bitcoin Freedom. It arrived about 4 days ago, so it's a very fresh story. This boat used to be called Zeppelin. It was a party boat in Novi Sad, so maybe some Serbians have already been on it. We are going to improve the boat with new furniture, better decoration. We're gonna renew the outside because it's a bit rusty. And I think within 2 months we can have guests on this boat. And I aim to live on this boat and welcome everybody that wants to know more about Liberland. I want to try to once a week or once a month, I don't know yet exactly, but I want to educate everybody who is interested can come to the boat, and I want to educate them about blockchain and about new forms of money. Well, we have an official embassy in Serbia that's in Belgrade. You can visit us there. It's just across the Parliament of Serbia. we have over 100 representative offices all over the world at this moment, and this boat will be the representative office, the closest one to Liberland. And for example, if you want to visit Liberland today, we strongly advise against it because of the Croatian authorities and their way of dealing with us. But of course you can have a boat trip because it's international water, so we leave from Apatin. We have more than one boat, and in April this year we actually had a trip with 180 people at the same time. So we can handle some bigger groups, and we can show you Liberland, where it's located, and what we hope to settle on once. But yeah, it's gonna be a representative office.
Pošto je spomenuo problem sa Hrvatskom i sam pristup teritoriji Liberlanda, upitali smo Jošija da li je imao problema sa našom policijom i kakvi su zapravo odnosi između Liberlanda i Srbije.
So far I don't know of any problems with Serbian authorities. Within 2 weeks after the existence of Liberland, Serbia made an official statement that the new country located on the Danube river bank was not Serbia. So they made very clear that they are not seeing us as if we are taking their land or anything like that. I believe that the only reason why Liberland still has some future is because of the friendly way of how Serbian authorities treat us. Because if Serbia would have the same stance on Liberland as Croatia, it would have been impossible for us, for example, to have this boat in Apatin, and they could really make our project fail if they wanted to, I believe. But they don't, and I'm very grateful to Serbia that they are seeing that Liberland doesn't have to be a threat, but can also be an opportunity for their country, because Liberland is attracting people like me who made some money on Bitcoin, for example. I'm spending more money than the average Serb, and I would like you to benefit. Yeah, we bought a boat, and I don't want to. For me, I would like to see a world without money. That's my long-term goal in 200 years, to be able to live together without any money. But unfortunately, today that's not the reality. But Liberland attracts a lot of people with money, and I think that Serbia can really benefit from that inflow of capital. So if they play it right, then they can be benefit. It can be a benefit for them, and I think they know that.
Naša priča sa Jošijem se nastavlja u smeru Bitcoina i ostalih kriptovaluta, jer je to zapravo njegov posao u projektu Liberlanda. Njegova je želja i san da edukuje ljude o blockchain tehnologiji i ostalim kriptovalutama, jer veruje da će to postati sastavni deo naših života u godinama koje slede. Kada smo već spomenuli Bitcoine, upitali smo ga koliko je isplativo rudarenje, to jest mining Bitcoina i ostali kriptovaluta, i koliko je Srbija pogodna za taj posao.
I think that governments will always have their own currency. Different currencies serve different purposes. Different currencies serve different purposes. So, for a government, this fiat money is perfect for their purpose, and that's why they will not just get rid of it. And it's mandatory for the citizens to pay taxes in that currency, so it will stay like that for some time. But I do think that on a voluntary basis we can move a lot of our economy to a different currency. So that's how I did it. I moved as much of my economy voluntarily to Bitcoin, and in that way I believe that crypto coins will take a bigger and bigger portion of the economy into their economy. In Serbia it is. It highly depends on where you have your mining equipment. And if you, for example, are in South Korea, you are losing money on mining Bitcoin because your electricity bill will be higher than your reward. But in Serbia it's profitable because the electricity cost is just a lot lower than the other countries. So for me, I don't mine Bitcoin myself. I'm a trader, so I trade different currencies on the market, and this is how I make my profit. I think if you mine crypto coins, you shouldn't want to make a profit at the moment that you mine it. You mine it with excess money you put in, that's your investment, and then you wait until a moment where the coin will rise, and that's when you make the profit, and then you sell it. So I have looked at a graph yesterday, and I believe that mining one Bitcoin in Serbia will cost you around $3,000, and at the moment the price of one Bitcoin is about 7,500, so you will make money in Serbia.
A kako se Joši našao u ruskom krsturu i koji su njegovi planovi za budućnost, otkrio nam je na samom kraju našeg razgovora.
I have been invited by the Liberland Rotary. We are setting up a new Rotary, which is also using blockchain. For example, for my payment of the club, I can pay with any blockchain related coin. And we are making, I'm just shaking hands, making contact with locals and understand their life better to be able to, in the future, right now I'm a tourist in Serbia, so I am enjoying whatever that I'm on vacation. I'm not having a job here, but in the future I want to have some business, and I need to know what the people here need. So that's why I go to places like this and shake hands and just hear the story of people, what they are doing in their lives. So to conclude, I think I can say that when I started Bitcoin 8 years ago, a lot of people laughed at me for thinking that I could change the way how money works. And when I present myself as Liberlandian today, I will get the same kind of laughter, and people say, it's a joke, and I'm not taking this anything serious. But we will not leave. We keep on going, and slowly but surely we will prove that our ideas have some valid points. So try to be open to new ideas is what I want to give everybody. And well, time will tell what the future will bring. I don't know if Liberland will ever be a country where people can live, but we will definitely use the platform to spread our ideas. And for me, Liberland is a mindset, and I'm already there. I don't need the soil. But so how will it develop? I don't know. But we will continue. We will not just go away. And I always say we are not bad people. We are not trying to break any law. We got this country in a legitimate way. Every country in the world has been found once. So we have been founded in the same way that every other country has been found. Actually, there are countries that have had bloody revolutions before they became country, and we are not going to fight over this. We are going to talk, and with common sense, people at some point will accept that we have the right to live on our Liberland.
Ukoliko želite da saznate više informacije o Liberlandu ili da tražite njihovo državljanstvo, predlažem vam da posetite zvaničan sajt liberland.org i ima sve lepo napisano na srpskom jeziku. To je to što se tiče ovog spontanog razgovora u Ruskom Krsturu. Vas pozivam da pratite naš portal, jer nam bukvalno svaki klik znači. Na taj način indirektno finansirate naš rad, naše tekstove i video priloge i ovaj preskupi audio snimač koji nam je izbio zadnji dinar iz džepa. To je to za sada, do sledećeg gledanja, čitajte lokalno.